All of these topics that we gain statistics on are results that the developers need, the City of Stirling needs, the government needs, and they need to take note of them.
Thank you. Well, it's a hard act to follow. However, Tim,
I'm a long way.
that's down to you. Tim's here from Sunsets, not Skyscrapers, to talk about
here as well too.
Scarborough. Thank you.
Scarborough. We're all being conned, I think. Sunsets, not Skyscrapers is the name and the aim of our community group, which was formed in 2017 to protect and promote the character and amenity of the Scarborough Beach area, while maintaining the content and integrity of the 2016 Scarborough Beach Redevelopment Zone Master Plan and Design Guidelines, which have been totally ignored by the Chinese developer Three Oceans with their plans for 43 and 35-storey twin towers towering above the 18-storey Rendezvous Hotel on West Coast Highway. The last development to come up as well ignored the plans, and they wanted a 29-storey apartment block over a Woolworths store. And so it goes. A 24-storey block, another one on West Coast Highway, and more are flowing out. I'm going to take you back to December the 18th, West Australian, which has the last transparent move by any developer in Western Australia, written by the departing Richard Muirhead, who said why we said no to twin towers. I'm going to take you through some parts of this. It's a brilliant article. If you want to have a look, it's in the West Australian, Monday, December the 18th, 2017. To me, should be the... Thank you. This should be what we all follow and what the planners should follow. It's a brilliant piece. Incidentally, a week after this was published, Richard was fired and the whole of the board was sacked by the Premier, and the taxpayer had to pay them out. Of course, they weren't allowed to say anything to the press. The first part I'd like to take you through is the Scarborough Master Plan and how they developed it. Sorry, this is all a little bit windy. There's a 100-hectare area originally built on the work done by the City of Stirling and responding to stakeholder and community feedback. It was finalised in September 2015 and then adopted in 2016. Subsequently, the final planning scheme and associated guidelines and development policies were adopted only then, after significant public consultation just over 12 months ago. This really doesn't happen these days. In this was the design to ensure high quality design and built form, protect the amenity of the area for pedestrians and motorists alike, and consider the future needs and lifestyle of workers, residents and visitors alike. A wonderful idea. The maximum height prescribed in the Scarborough Master Plan for this site was 12 storeys, with possibly an extension to 18 storeys if it was really exceptional. I skipped most of the rest of this to say that the design did not demonstrate a standard of excellence to recommend an increase from 12 storeys. A kick in the face, and the last kick in the face that anybody has been given from the development area. He also continues to say these responses are all now a public record and define many of the shortcomings of the development application. Unfortunately, the designers and architects sought not only to increase the height of the building, but also to significantly increase the mass, floor area and overall impact of the building. This is applicable to all of us, I believe. consideration of issues such as these originally informed the structure of the Scarborough Master Plan and planning framework in determining mass and scale. To simply ignore them now for one application would limit the opportunity to create a well-planned, economically viable, environmentally sustainable community at Scarborough. Right on. So that's basically, it's a lot more than that, but that's the principle that this guy stood up for. And for that, he was fired. Now, 3 months after it was knocked back, immediately it was knocked back, the client, Three Oceans, went to the SAT, the State Administration Tribunal, and a lot of fiddling was done, and 3 months later, the Sterling Times, which was then an independent paper with the community news, wasn't owned by the owner of all the newspapers, Premier backs the Twin Towers, exactly 90 days after it was knocked back. And he says, I won't take you through it all, it previously proposed 43-storey and 35-storey towers, but the shorter tower is now planned for 38 stories. How arrogant. Yeah. Premier Mark McGowan gave his support to the development, saying it was the sort of thing we need. I'm excited by the development. It's jobs, 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 life, excitement, vitality, more people here to enjoy the experience of restaurants and cafes. But I don't think the Premier's ever been down to Scarborough Beach at night time on a Friday, Saturday, Thursday or Sunday. It heaves. It's a lot of fun. And there's thousands of people and only hundreds of parking spaces, and people are driving around the whole time looking. Now, this happens with no more skyscrapers built down at Scarborough. Imagine, this is the way I've counted it, and if everything gets approved, there's going to be 232 floors added to that Scarborough Beach redevelopment zone. That's going to quadruple the population down there, and it's going to take 10 years to build all this stuff, and honestly, Scarborough, you won't be able to drive through there. There's going to be rat runs everywhere. It's going to be chaos. I'm sorry to... Yep, I think that's pretty well it. I've said enough, I think you get the point. Thanks.
Thank you, Tim. And I'm sorry for cutting you off there. We could all talk for hours and hours and hours. So I'm hoping the panel will agree with me that there is some sort of problem.